What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dirty Degens. I am your degenerate host, Josh, that also forgot to put on the intro, so you caught me lacking. I was trying to fix the lights behind me. Anyways, hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. I hope you had a great weekend. The week is starting off a little bit hot. We've got a little bit of recovery going on. We've got a lot of major catalysts that are going to go on for this month as well, especially ones that are coming up very soon. Now, today, I do mostly want to talk about Solana and projects within the Solana ecosystem because I am noticing a lot of signs that Solana is going to be picking up. I know everybody says Solana is a ghost chain, the meme scene is done, and etc. But I'm going to show you some statistics that could potentially argue that. And I'll address some of your concerns. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them in the live chat and I will address them as soon as I see them. But that is all I have to say. Let's hop right into it, fam. Let's go. Hopping into it, though, Bitcoin is trying to recover a little bit. Now, in the past couple of hours, it has dropped a little bit more. We've had bombs shot off in Iran and things like that. We had the job numbers come out today, which caused this two major red candles here. I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. But all in all, Bitcoin's still above 110,000, pushing back up towards 112, which is a relatively important level. But let's be honest, you guys don't really want to hear about that. Now, there is a new White House crypto chief. And I don't like him. You're not going to like him either. He is pushing to push the Senate crypto bill and the Genius Act, but he also wants a Federal Reserve currency. So there's a little bit of contention there. They're trying to change the Genius Act. They're trying to change the Senate bill. And ultimately, he's trying to push this Federal Reserve currency as well, which I'm not a fan of. Let's keep CBDCs and everything like that out of the view and in the rear view. None of those, please. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. And yeah, hopping into chat though quick. What's going on, Ron Paul? Mark Anthony, what's going on in the world of crypto? You're going to find out. Crazy Uncle, thanks for stopping by. Jeff Leopard, always nice to see you. And look at that, camera wall. Who would have guessed? Now, a couple other things about Bitcoin. I did mention the job revisions. Basically, they're saying that from March, we're down like almost 1 million jobs. Absolutely insane. What's crazy is Trump also just fired the person that provided this data like a couple months ago. So it's going to be worse now. Now, all of this comes to say that this September, we will have a rate cut. Rate cut currently is looking at a 93% odds for 50 basis point cut. However, there is a 7% chance that we get a bigger cut. But there's still another one factored in for October and December. It's also looking pretty likely. So all in all, these rate cuts, granted, not necessarily positive for the overall economy, going to be very positive for markets, whether it's your traditional market or crypto market, etc. It's going to be very positive. It's all lining up perfectly for alt season, for the bull market to resume. I mean, bull market's still here. I'm not in the camp of, oh, the bull market's taking a breather or anything like that. I am full camp of, we are in the bull market and it's on and going. You know what, guys? We're just not getting those 40% dips we typically get. We're getting a little bit of consolidation, down 20%, 10%, and consolidating, and that's healthy. That's good. We have nothing to complain about here. It's very positive. Now, another thing that I did want to point out, the last thing I want to point out for Bitcoin is that Bitcoin addresses that only buy and never sell are hitting record levels. This is important. This goes into that whole, is the bear market in the room with us? So, like, are we in a bull market still? And yes, addresses that are buying a lot of Bitcoin and never sell are accumulating at a record level. So all in all, very positive. Bitcoin is going to be back up in no time. I think that this is just a consolidation period. I mean, look, if we zoom out on the daily, it doesn't look nearly as bad, right? Like, it's just a little bit of a dip. We're consolidating here at this support level, and we're going to be up in no time. But to bring you to the start of the show, Solana is recovering very, very well and aggressively, I would say. But what's weird is that on-chain traction supposedly is dipping to historic lows. Not only that, RSI and things like that. However, if price is going up and RSI is falling, that's a bull case for price to continue to go upwards, right? But there is a support level that we need to pay attention to. We're not going to talk about that. I'm not your TA guy. You've got other people that you want to look at. I want to talk about the bull case for Solana and the Solana ecosystem. Now, one of those happens to be the Alpenglow upgrade that has secured approval, and there are some challenges, but not really. Basically, what this is breaking down to is we're looking at like late Q4 that this upgrade will happen. It's supposed to make Solana even faster, higher throughput, and cheaper, as if Solana wasn't already cheap enough. But we're not going to complain about that. Camera Wall says he's thinking about selling his DOT and Atom at a loss and rolling in Solana. I'm not going to lie. I've never been a fan of DOT. I was a huge fan of Atom until the true layer 0 hype kind of went into play. And there are big chains that are built off of Atom. But the thing is it's like Avalanche, right? None of those chains play a factor into Atom. Now, Cosmos, sure, they orchestrate all of those operations, but they have not figured out a way to actually give impact on the Atom token. They don't require these chains to do anything with the Atom token. So it's no different than Avalanche. I use this example all the time, right? You've got DeFi kingdoms. They process millions of transactions, but they have zero impact on the Avalanche token. And that goes for all of the C chains and all of the layer zeros that are on Atom. So I'm not telling you, Camera Wall, that you should do that, but I also would be getting out of my DOT and Atom. That's just my opinion. Now, moving on, I guess I'll check out chat still. Clifton K, what's going on? What's going on? Mark Anthony, did you ever buy a Soul Phone? Either one of them, and aren't they coming out with another one? So Seeker 2 is out. I ordered one. I don't know where it's at, but I did order one. The first phone got crazy airdrops. I think I should have some. I don't know. We'll see. We'll go over it all. Don't worry. I will talk about it on stream. Now, this is the main reason that we're talking about Solana, because everybody's saying that September is bearish for crypto. It's bearish for assets. It's bearish for markets in general, and especially for crypto, right? Now, I'm not going to come in here and say like, oh, Solana's going to reach $300 by the end of the month. I do think, though, that despite the uncertainty that everybody has revolving the crypto market in the month of September is a fluke. And especially for Solana, because there, like I've already said, there's many bullish things going on. Solana is performing very well. This chart is a moon boy chart. Don't get me wrong. I do not see a $2,300 Solana by March. That's like ridiculous. I don't even know what they're doing. But altcoin season index is rising. So that is a positive catalyst to our Solana. But like I've said, Solana's got many, many very bullish things going on. The SEC has delayed the decision from Solana ETFs till October. And that's fine. That's what we were expecting the entire time. We have said that none of these spot ETFs would pass before October. And don't get me wrong, they continue to delay them. But Solana is definitely one of the most likely ones to get it passed sooner. There's Algorand ones, Chainlink ones. You've got XRP ones, Doge ones, Bonk ones, and Solana out of all of those sound most likely to pass. If you think about it, XRP, sure, it's going to pass sooner or later, but they also just got out of a lawsuit with the SEC. Are they really going to turn around right away and be like, we passed your ETF? Probably not. Probably not. There's a lot of more bullish things that are going on. We've got Bitcoin treasuries, we've got Ethereum treasuries, but don't forget, there are also Solana treasuries. And the first one was actually in Canada, and that ETF or that treasury just launched on the NASDAQ. So it's a little bit interesting. And tomorrow that will go live. This just got announced a couple hours ago. So that's a pretty big deal. You've got Solana treasuries on the NASDAQ. Okay. I think I brought it up on stream. I brought it up in my Telegram anyways. There was a Doge treasury that launched on the NASDAQ, and the first day they dropped like 80%. I don't know how they're doing since then, but This is the first Solana one on the NASDAQ. But it's not going to be the only one because Forward Industries just announced a $1.65 billion treasury for Solana. And it's led by Galaxy Digital, Jump Crypto, Multicoin Capital. But pure Solana treasury, $1.65 billion. And just like a lot of these other major Bitcoin treasuries that have gone live on the NASDAQ, I'm sure there will be some sort of merger or something like that that will put this on the NASDAQ. Actually, no, it's going straight on the NASDAQ because it is a merger. I'm sorry, I totally forgot. Forward Industries is already on the NASDAQ. So it's going to go straight on the NASDAQ because it's another merger, just like we saw with 21 Capital for Bitcoin and stuff like that. Now, these are going to attract more and more money. And what do? They buy Solana and they hold it. They don't sell it. They don't trade it. They buy Solana and they hold it. Now, we can argue about how much of the volume on Solana is real and all of that. But the thing is in the grand scheme of things, the last to get with the program is VCs and major companies, right? We've been talking about it for years and they're finally getting into Bitcoin, right? Now, if Solana continues to make up transactions and do wash trading and et cetera, it's going to be many years until retail and corporations actually catch on to that. And do they care? They probably don't care. They want a chain that operates well, that does what it says it's going to do. They can deploy things on and it continues to run. There's no major hacks, etc. That's what they ultimately care about. They don't care about if the volume on it is real or not. In the grand scheme of things, it is actually real volume that's happening on the chain. It's just fake and made up. So it's going to continue to attract more capital to acquire Solana. Right? I'm bullish on Solana. Not going to lie. I'm bullish on the price action of Solana. I'm bullish on the future of Solana. And at one point of time, maybe something will come of the wash trading. Maybe something will come of the centralization. But until then, I do believe that Solana is a solid investment. And again, we've got Forward Industries. We got the one in Canada that just listed too. And now we've got QMM surges 800%. Because they are starting a crypto treasury involving Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Like I said, they are going to look at the layer ones that have not been in trouble, that get tons of volume, have tons of major brands working with them, and they're going to gravitate towards them. And what are those? They're Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. I get it. Like Avalanche has worked with Adidas and they're working with Toyota and stuff like that, but there's no real world use case. They're not actually utilizing it. They're wanting to build infrastructure on top of it. It doesn't matter. What matters is there's real people going to utilize Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. And it just strengthens the bull case for all these VCs and corporations to get into Solana. But that's not it. I guess we can talk about this. Memes are hot, but traders may be creating fake traffic. I've already ranted about this stream. It is true. Memes are hot. And actually, if we do let's look at this here. And let's go to, let's see, all chain Solana. There we go. It's got changed for me though. Doge is not on Solana. Well, this screws me up because that's what I was going to do. It's not changing. Let's see if CoinGecko does it. I don't think CoinGecko will let us sort by chain. It's not even letting me click into. But I did have it pulled up earlier, and basically all memes on Solana are heavily recovering. And there's other crazy things going on too, like the Pokemon TCG game is just absolutely going insane. They've done millions of dollars in revenue. There's one trader that has driven $150 million in trades, like it's just stupid. So there's other major brands. This is latching onto that are utilizing Solana to do stuff like this, right? Trading card frenzy is insane. There's a Pokemon box at the grocery store by me. And I was there one morning when they refilled it. There was like 8 dudes just waiting to like siphon this box empty. And I don't know. I just buy meme coins. So what do I know? But still, this is going to bring a ton more attention to the blockchain, right? Because you have all of these people, like imagine your younger kids that do collect and they do the flipping, they sell the cards and everything like that. Now they're savvy enough with technology that they're going to hear about this and be like, oh, I like pulling blind packs. I want to see what happens. I want to flip that, right? And what's going to happen is they're actually going to be too late and they end up being exit liquidity. But this is the type of hype we need to see to bring that activity to the chain. This is what brings retail. And also, the Solana TVL is at an all-time high of $12.1 billion. Let's just fact check that because why not? I think I might have. Yeah, there we go. Solana here. Why do you want me to connect a wallet? I'm not connecting a wallet. It's not gonna. Huh. Something. There we go. That was weird. I think my link got hijacked there. By the way, guys, stay safe. There are some weird browser things going on, but it is just below all-time high now. It's at 12.05 billion. So it is up there. It's been a very steady climb up since basically what, June? Yeah, just climbing and crawling back up. But no, there's a lot of activity on Solana, not to mention stable coins. Circle has just been minting like crazy on Solana, and that puts all-time or stablecoin TVL on Solana at about 12 billion, or let's just look at it on our own. Let's see, stablecoin market cap. We've got it at $12.18 billion. So it's almost at an all-time high as well. Very good stuff. And also Solana has surpassed Ethereum in DEX volume. It's basically an all-time high, but according to this, it is users that come and go. But that's what is expected in crypto. Any savvy crypto user is not a Solana maxi, right? They're using Base, they're using Solana, they're using an exchange. They're all over the place. That's how I trade. I'm not only on Solana. I'm not only on Avalanche. I'm on multiple different chains. That's why you see me talking about Sui and Aptos and Base, you know, because I'm all over the place. Checking out chat. Mark Anthony, did Sol ever come out with a number for max supply? It's still open. No max supply, but it is a deflationary tokenomics. Now, I thought this was a little bit interesting. This was announced today as well. And it goes to show you the strength of the Solana ecosystem, because Bored Ape Yacht Club is also expanding to Solana. Now, they're not ditching Ethereum or anything like that, but the ApeCoin ecosystem is expanding to Solana. So there's just a lot of interest in it. They want to capture those users. They want to bring them in, and they want them to come into their ecosystem. And actually, this is very good for the ape ecosystem because it really sucks to use. It's terrible to use. So hopefully this makes it a little bit better, and it could help the ape chain quite a bit. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Now, I saw this at I'll let you guys guess which Solana-based meme coin is primed for a biblical rally. Now, there's only one that everybody talks about, and that is Farcoin. So they're talking about Farcoin, and they're saying that Farcoin is coming to a bottom here, and it's going to just absolutely explode to all-time high. Farcoin is one of the strongest meme coins on Solana. It's all over the place, very good narrative. So I could see a solid run to all-time high. I like Farcoin. A biblical rally, I'm not too sure about that though. But there are other tokens that are on Solana that are very strong as well. One of those, obviously, are Dog with Hat, which is below all-time high right now. There's a good, like probably 40% or so here that it needs to get back 60% back to all-time high. But there's a lot of bullish things going on for dog with hat. And I'm not getting into the shitters on Solana because actually I hate the shitters on Solana. I can't stand them. I think that you should avoid them with every bone in your body. I no longer look at the fresh launches on Solana, but if we want safe bets and we're wanting to play the Solana ecosystem, there's very good bets within the blue chip memes on Solana. One of those would be Dog with Hat, and it's for numerous reasons. I thought this was a little bit crazy. Last month, Dog with Hat knitted hat sells for $800,000 to the founder of the bags. It's bag.fun. My bad. I'm trying to remember. But I thought that was crazy. So the original hat from the meme sold for almost $1 million. And Finbags is the one that bought it. He's the guy that totally fumbled the Mr. Beast call when they were doing that charity. But still, goes to show you there's a lot. Well, I guess maybe not, because he could have just bid $800,000. But still, it's crazy. It's still stupid. Also, DeFi Dev Corp, I've talked about this before. They did launch a Dog with Hat validator. So that is a corporation that is a NASDAQ traded company that has a Dog with Hat validator, and those funds go into buying the token and everything, right? So this is an accumulation strategy for a corporation to essentially have a with hat validate or treasury. A little bit crazy. You know, it's not like the Doge one where their company is just focused on that, and obviously that failed miserably. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of PopCap, but the thing is PopCap bounces hard when it bounces. Like I was talking about it back here, and it bounced from 233 million to 466. We're getting back towards that level, and it's very likely, in my opinion, that we see a huge bounce. And I think even back here in April, I was talking about it again, and it went from 123 to 630 million. It's just when you can catch these blue chip memes on Solana, especially PopCat, even though nobody ever says that PopCat is their favorite meme coin, it just always bounces so beautifully. It's hard to ignore them, because if you just swing trade this every couple months, it's basically a free money printer. It's a free money glitch. It's ridiculous. And that's not it, because, well, this article is just saying that they agree that PopCat's going to have a huge bounce, but I don't even know why I left that open. I'm also pretty bullish on Bonk. I actually like Bonk. I'm not bullish on it just because it's the biggest meme on Solana. They have a ridiculous amount of money. Their treasury is absolutely massive. They are a major sponsor of everything that Solana does. You've got the CFN, which whatever, but Bonk sponsors all of those. Bonk is also partnering with Karate Combat. Bonk is doing things in every sector of the space. And I think Bonk will continue to be a huge performer. If anything, it's coming off a nice bottom here. We're in a bull market, right? So it makes sense that it rebounds here, and maybe we get a nice run up to like $2.5 billion, and then a fall back down and a run up back. Like I could, let's paint a little bit. I could see like a and a, you know, something like that. Woo. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But definitely bullish on Bonk. And that was supposed to be there. Other than that, though, guys, that's about all I have. If you have anything in the chat that you want me to check out, want me to bring up, I wanted to share why I am bullish on Solana. So I decided to dig through some things, put it all together for you, and dispel the noise. Despite whether or not traffic is fake on Solana or not, there are multiple different sectors that are just blowing up on Solana. You've got corporations and VCs that are paying attention, and they want in. Now, you can be a realist or whatever, all you want, but the fact of the matter is money is flowing into Solana. So I'm not going to ignore it. You probably shouldn't either, but who am I to tell you? Because none of this is financial advice. Also, Camera Wall says, still bullish on Bonk and Pengu. I'm super bullish on Pengu. I think Pengu is going to be a standout performer. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I'm going to leave you guys with just that for the night. Throw them into the comments down below. Hop into the Clifton says, is there a bonk stadium? There's actually about to be. They're doing that with Karate Combat. So that's coming very soon, I believe. But yeah, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them in the comments of this video. Otherwise, you can also hop into my Telegram. I'm in there all the time. But yeah, you guys have yourself some wonderful night. I will see you guys tomorrow with another live stream. Peace. Hold on. We got to get the outro video in, right? There we go. Peace.